Okay, hello. So we are with one of our authors for Space Wizard Science Fantasy Year 4, Part 2, our campaign, which is starting in November. So you're probably seeing this maybe before the campaign, maybe when it starts. We're going to do a launch party and get some author interviews. So introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah, I'm Kristina Kelly. My author name's Kristina W. Kelly, and I write science fiction and fantasy, including poetry. But my series is The Tales of Trelvania, and I'm going to talk to you about the second book, which is Tea Tale.
Yeah.
It follows the events from Tavern Tale. So, where Tavern Tale was set in cozy autumn, Tea Tale is set in cozy winter.
Mm.
And it occurs during the in world holiday known as Midwinter Night's Fair, which is basically a week-long event around the solstice. And for those who've played RPGs, it has those mini game vibes where there's games and activities around the city, special trinkets, and of course, yummy foods and drinks. So, after the events of Tavern Tale, Divine is trying to understand her magic and how it is changing after she finishes what happens in the first book.
Mm.
And then she's also trying to navigate and understand what it means for herself and then navigating her relationship. What is it or isn't with Saf? So it's got those cozy elements, the higher stakes, and there's a super cute cactus character that gets introduced. And I'm describing Tea Tale as twice the adventure, twice the spice, and all the tea, metaphorically and figuratively, and the tea will be spilt.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, I was telling you before we started, I actually just started the developmental edit of this. It's coming out in February, and they've already started drinking tea, which made me want to want to make a cup of tea. So I'll probably make that right after we
Yes,
finish with this. Um,
definitely.
but we already have the cover started. You can see it over on my screen. It's the same cover artist who did the first one, which is over on Christina's screen over in the corner for Tavern Tale. So does beautiful work. So we will have that hopefully by the time the campaign starts. We'll see. But we'll put the cover in. Um, so what was I know you said this when us talking in the background, sort of behind the scenes, we're talking about how this series has developed over time. So the first one's very cozy and sort of D&D, and then we're looking more towards adventure, a little bit more in the second and third books. So how do you see that developing for the whole series?
Yeah, I still want to stay true to what started the Tales of Travania series, which is I started wanting to write something cozy set in autumn, but sprinkling in stuff that I liked and missed from the cozy genre from epic fantasy. So
Mm.
magic systems and deities and such. So throughout the series, I still see it having those same vibes, that there's always going to be some cozy elements, whether it's the location and the food and the atmosphere, but it kind of goes from I'm envisioning it. We start with Tavern Tale, which is a really local, and then Tea Tale gets a little bit more broad out into the world, and then the next book's going to be a little bit more broad out into the world. So, like you said, kind of an adventure, but I still want to have cozy elements and harken back to everything that's always influenced it, which is my favorite parts of RPGs and tabletop gaming and things.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did love the card game that was in the first one. I think it already made an appearance in the second one,
Yes.
pretty early on. So I thought that was a nice little add-in. Do you actually know the rules to the game, or like have you created it, or is it just more of an in-world?
Yeah, I have almost all the rules created. What I don't have is all the cards. So in my head, I have maybe like 12 cards, but I
Mhm.
envision it being a much larger set of cards that would be played. And then I know the rules as far as the edges have different elements and numbers, and those interact on the table as well when you make your decision to play kind of your character and what that character's journey would do in this Crossroad George game.
Mhm. Okay, cool. Well, we do have two RPGs out from Space Wizard
I
already.
know. I
So
know.
maybe we'll do something in the campaign with a
It'll be a
poll
lot of
or
fun.
something like that. See if anybody's interested in a card game
Yeah.
this based on the whole series.
Yeah.
So yeah, this whole campaign is really there's a lot of series. We have 2 out of 5 books are not in series out of the 7 books that we're putting out this time. So this is the second one, and we're slated to do the third one. I think late 26 was what we were saying, something like that, or early 27.
Yeah.
Um, so you'll be able to, that'll be in one of the next two campaigns that we do. So you'll be able to get the third one, and that is the maybe end of the series,
Maybe the end.
maybe
Yeah,
the
I
end.
think it will be, but there's a potential there could be a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay, so we might have even more for you to enjoy, but definitely stick around. You know, get Tavern Tale and get Tea Tale. We actually have a special pledge level in this campaign where you can just get all the series. So you get all the books that are involved in series in campaign. So that'll start you off, and you can read all of them. But speaking of series, I was going to drop a very tiny hint about some other stuff that we've talked about. So I've talked with, um, so, well, I'll let you say it. So Christina actually works with a partner for a lot of your writing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, one of my best friends and I, many years ago, decided to sit down and write stories together. And so we've got an epic series that we currently call the Etheria Cycle that blends science fiction and fantasy. And we're excited to take that here to Space Wizard.
Yeah. So through circumstances, we look like that's going to be coming to Space Wizard. And that's off in the future, but keep it in mind if you like Christina's books, read these too. So that is what I guess what part of you goes into the combined writing and you know, what part of that do you
Yeah.
do?
So we have 6 points of view,
Mm,
and I typically will write from three or four of the characters, and my co-author Jonathan will write from, whatever is left over. And so we'll
mhm,
we'll trade back and forth. If there's a lot of influence with me with battles, anytime
mhm,
there's battles, I often get to write those. But my characters, I would definitely write from the two female perspectives, and then it just depends on my mood whether I'm
mhm.
writing from the flirty bard character or the stoic warrior. It kind of goes back and forth, but we try to blend as much, even in our chapters that we write, that there's a sprinkling of both me and Jonathan in that. And all my writing deals with nature. I often have nature and music elements, so
Mhm.
that'll get in there as well. I always write those, even with what we work together with.
Awesome. Yeah, so if you like Tavern Tale and Tea Tale, keep that in mind for the future. We will have some more writing from Christina coming later. Um, all right, so I guess any last thoughts, anything else you want to tell us about the series, anything that's come up while you're writing it, sort of give people a send off, get them a little bit interested in it.
Yeah, I've had some beta readers tell me that just like you, they wanted to drink some tea while they were reading Tea Tale, and I said, "Perfect, please do." And I would love to end up making my own blends for the various teas that show up, so you can sip them. So we'll see if that can happen. But yeah, I just hope everybody likes the shift into winter and find the cozy elements if you like winter holiday vibes,
Yeah.
etc. I really tried to bring out my favorites.
Well, cool. Well, this is running at the perfect time. Our campaign's running in November, December. So go ahead and schedule your winter book pre-order Tea Tale. And we have some other things in the works too. I'm not going to say too much, but we may have some ideas with teas. I have a source, so which is actually a Space Wizard author. So we'll see what happens with that. Maybe we put some fun polls out in the campaign. We'll see what people like in terms of card games and tea and
Yeah,
what they want to do with their
it
books.
was so much fun.
Yeah. Well, great talking to you. So everybody go back to the campaign. It's Space Wizard Science Fantasy Year 4 Part 2. We have 7 books coming to you. The second one is the third one coming out. So this is coming out February. So the third one coming out will be Tea Tale by Kristina W. Kelly. And we hope to see you all at the campaign. All right. Bye, everybody.